right?
Uneventful.
Good.
Uneventful is always the best kind of flight.
Yes. You guys had quite a bit of support this morning at Starfire Sports. How is that having so many fans there to support you guys as you were heading off to Toronto?
I think I said it this morning, another chapter to the book of the relationship that the fans have with the players. I thought it was great. I think some of the guys like Roman, I think they trained a little harder. They didn't want to look bad in front of all the fans close up, so it actually helped the coaching staff, and it was a really good send-off.
We just had Tyrone here, and he said that the flight was business as usual, kind of a relaxed feel. Would you agree with that sentiment for the players?
Sure, it's air travel. There's nothing glamorous about it.
Ryan, you've said it multiple times that since you and your staff has taken over, every single game has been a must-win. Has the message changed differently this week for you guys? Or are you telling them to just treat it like another game we've had the past couple months? Or
Well, I think they all know it's a cup final. I don't think I have to remind them of that. I think they also know that it is a must-win game, so we've kind of eased off on that messaging a little bit. I think the biggest thing is just getting them prepared, tactically the last couple of days in Seattle, and then here we're just going to enjoy the moment and get them ready physically and hope for a good match.
There are a lot of guys on this team, young guys, some guys maybe who haven't been through this in this league specifically. How do you kind of mentally and get them kind of geared up, not geared up, but get them ready for what's about to happen, everything that goes on behind it?
Well, starting with all of this, all the stuff that we had to do when we entered the hotel, everybody can tell it's a little bit bigger deal, but most of them are used to it. Even the young guys, Jordy, Christian, they've been around a lot of press. We have a lot of press in Seattle. The veteran guys here, Roman, Nelson, Ladero, all those guys, they've been through it before. So hopefully it won't become too much of a burden and they'll be able to focus and concentrate on the game.
Brian, how do you think the cold will come into play on Saturday? The
cold?
Yeah.
Well, we had to move our training today from our grass field, which was frozen, to a turf field that was slightly less frozen. So we've been training in 30-degree weather all week. So, whatever the weather is, it's out of our control. We'll be ready to deal with it. I did hear that the grounds crew did a really fantastic job for that second leg, Montreal and Toronto. So I have plenty of confidence in Toronto's ground crew to make it a really nice, playable surface.
Aside from the press, what other outward signs are making you feel like, hey, this is an MLS Cup win?
Other than the press, well, trainings have been good. Trainings have been upbeat. They've been sharp. They know it's the playoffs. I think the buzz around the city. You see a lot of people wearing Sounder jerseys, stopping in the Pioneer Square office where a lot of really good people work. They're all excited for us. So lots of things point towards a big game.
Anything here that you noticed on the way in, or is it too dark to really?
Well, Toronto's a great city. We enjoy coming here. We'll see tomorrow.
Coach, what makes Ozzy Alonso such a special player? Do you think he's the best defensive midfielder in MLS right now?
Well, I would be biased and answer that question yes. What makes him good is a little bit longer narrative, though. One of his biggest things, which was evident early on, even when he was in Charleston, when he first came over, was his absolute desire to win at all costs. You couple that with he's a tremendous athlete. I think over the years you've seen him grow as a soccer player. His passing percentage completions are off the charts, and that's due to just, getting a little bit more savvy in who to pass to, when to pass, all of those little intricacies of our game. So, yes, we're very happy to have him, and he's a really good soccer player.
You look at a guy like Josie Altidore, who's in very good form right now, and physically and technically, he brings it. You have two guys in center of your defense who can physically and technically bring it as well. How do you view that matchup, and how do you kind of prep them for that challenge specifically?
Well, I view it as one of the great storylines to this game. I mean, there's a lot of good storylines, but Chad and Roman against Josie is certainly one to watch for. We will try and slow Josie down on it with our team. Denying service, making sure Chad and Roman get bodies on him and stuff like that. But, he's a good player, and, again, those matchups, those key matchups in different key moments of the game could decide the game.
And just shifting from the backfield to the midfield too, that's also been another big match for you guys. What kind of challenge does Toronto present to you guys, and what kind of matchups do you think will be vital for you guys to get the win without obviously giving away the game plan too much?
Well, everybody in the soccer world knows that the midfield is the engine room of the team. You need to have good engines in there. If I look at their team with Bradley and Will and Cooper, they're all three good players. We have good players on our side. Again, the subtleties of the game, how it plays out, whatever tactics we did in Seattle, however we see them on film, it's still individual players have to be better than their opponent on that given day. So that there, you'll have an interesting matchup with our three midfielders versus Toronto's three.
Brian, how gratifying has this run been for you, given the way that you kind of took over and the uncertainty of whether you would be around if you didn't make the playoffs and here you are in the final? It must be.
Well, let me correct you. Nobody said I wouldn't have been around if I hadn't made the playoffs. I'll correct you on that one. But I am very satisfied because I'm a Seattle Sounder fan. I've been one for a long time, and I'm very happy for the fans. It's exciting. It's very exciting.
What's it been like to see Roman back in action after going through it?
Great.
To see him after the struggles of having to get.
He worked hard. He worked extremely hard. You guys probably saw some of the media about how hard he worked to get back to where he was. So that's testament to his character and testament to Dave Tenney and Chris Cornish, our medical guys. They did a great job of getting him back on the field in a timely fashion.
Everyone knows about his size and how imposing he is and how strong he is, but seems to have an infectious personality. Did you kind of know about that before you came aboard, and what's that brought to the team?
Well, we didn't know exactly Ivis, but we got a good glimpse of it very early on. I mean, from the minute he started out in training and, even today, we're playing little small-sided games and fans were, sending us off, and Ramon decided he was going to play center forward. So after he scored his goal, all the fans started yelling and hooping and hollering. So he's got a big character. We love having him around, and again, we saw it pretty quickly.
One or two more for Coach?
What kind of game do you expect from Toronto? They're coming off an emotional win in their last series, and they're at home. They have the crowd behind them.
Expect a good match. Greg's a good coach. Robin's a good coach. I expect them to be well prepared, and it's a cup final for both teams.
You got a couple of guys who've played in this game before. Are they like guys like Chad Bryan? Like, do you see them kind of trying to impart maybe what their experience has been?
In 08 for them, it was a long time ago, but certainly I talked to all the senior players, get little tidbits here and there. Brad's a veteran guy, Chad's a veteran guy. We lean on the guys to make sure that the locker room is calm. We can't always overmanage, so those guys do a great job for me in there.